Long ago, when sailing ships ruled the waves, a captain and his crew were in danger of being boarded by a pirate ship. As the crew became frantic, the captain bellowed to his first mate, "Bring me my red shirt." The first mate quickly retrieved the captain's red shirt, which the captain put on and led the crew to battle the pirate boarding party. Although some casualties occurred among the crew, the pirates were repelled. Later that day, the lookout screamed that there were 2 pirate vessels sending boarding parties. The crew cowered in fear, but the captain, calm as ever, bellowed, "Bring me my red shirt." Once again the battle was on, and once again the captain and his crew repelled both boarding parties, though this time more casualties occurred. Weary from the battles, the men sat around on deck that night recounting the day's occurrences when an ensign looked to the captain and asked, "Sir, why did you call for your red shirt before the battle?" The captain, giving the ensign a look that only a captain can give, exhorted, "If I am wounded in battle, the red shirt does not show the wound, and thus, you men will continue to fight unafraid." The men sat in silence, marveling at the courage of such a man. As dawn came the next morning, the lookout screamed that there were pirate ships, 10 of them, all with boarding parties on their way. The men became silent and looked to the captain, their leader, for his usual command. The captain, calm as ever, bellowed, "Bring me my brown pants." A friend of mine had resisted efforts to get him to run with our jogging group until his doctor told him he had to exercise. Soon thereafter, he reluctantly joined us for our 6 a.m. jogs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. After a month of running, we decided that my friend might be hooked, especially when he said he had discovered what runner's euphoria was. Runner's euphoria, he explained, is what I feel at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and weekends. On the day I received my learner's permit, my father agreed to take me out for a driving lesson. With a big grin, he hopped in behind the driver's seat. "Why aren't you sitting up front on the passenger's side?" I asked. "Jenny, I've been waiting for this ever since you were a little girl," Dad replied. "Now it's my turn to sit back here and kick the seat." I work at a drive-through window at a fast food restaurant. One morning a customer pulled up and said, "2 sausage biscuits, please." No sooner had I finished taking the order than I heard the frantic barking of his dog. "Oh, excuse me," came the apologetic voice of the man. "Make that 3 sausage biscuits." I volunteered to help my daughter Mary to prepare for a big dinner party. My job was to clean the refrigerator and freezer to make room for the food. I restacked all the frozen dinners, but one casserole blocked my progress. Uncovering it, I found something resembling sauerkraut, noodles, and hot dogs in a cream sauce. Definite disposal material. I set it on the counter to defrost. Mary walked in and saw it, so asked why the casserole was out, and I explained. "Oh, no," she said. "You can't throw that away." Every time John comes home and sees it defrosting, he suddenly remembers the new restaurant we have to try. When our neighbor Henry hit his late 40s, he started jogging. A few weeks later the familiar figure was no longer going past our house. "Have you stopped running?" I asked him. "The first week I ran 1 block and walked 1 block, Henry began. "The next week I ran 2 blocks and walked a block. The third week I ran 3 blocks and walked 2 blocks. The fourth week," Henry concluded, "the math got so darned hard that I just gave it up." Our very busy coffee shop was short-handed. When a friend of the owner visited, he was pressed into service running the cash register. He thought the customers, smiling broadly as they paid, were exceptionally friendly. He did not realizing that the owner had taped this sign to the front of the register. Our guest cashier is Dr. Johnson, professor of statistics at State University. Please count your change. Mike and his bride were opening their wedding gifts. After unwrapping each package, Linda would exclaim enthusiastically, "We can really use these towels, or we'll enjoy eating on these pretty dishes." Then she opened one very large box. It contained a vacuum cleaner. "Mike," Linda said, "look what you got." On our first day of Army basic training, we recruits were herded off buses to the care of screaming drill sergeants. We spent much of the day picking up supplies and doing push-ups. After our 5-minute meal, a fellow recruit turned to me. "Gosh," he said, "I wonder how they treat the enemy." I was making my daily rounds as a letter carrier when a 4-year-old boy ran to his family's mailbox and planted himself squarely in front of it. With his feet spread wide and his arms folded, he told me sternly, "My mom says she just can't take any more bills." We were assembled in our corporate conference room to observe a sales representative's demonstration of his company's state-of-the-art computer software. Murphy's Law prevailed. The rep's terminal screen blurred and oscillated. His attempt for a telecommunication link to the central computer failed. He phoned his company for assistance, but his liaison was gone for the day. That's when he faced us and said, "This concludes my demonstration of our competitor's product. Next week I'll come back and show you ours." Saw news about a product been suited by consumers. The product is guaranteed to kill roaches. It only has 2 wood blocks with the following instruction. Step 1, place the roach on one block. Step 2, smash it with the other block. At the supermarket I noticed many products whose labels boasted, "No cholesterol, no preservatives, no caffeine." In one aisle, a woman in a pink sweatsuit was studying the ingredients on a cereal box. Then she turned to her husband. "This stuff is great," she assured him enthusiastically. "It has nothing in it." Our family doctor brought his car to my son's garage for engine work. As my son looked intently under the hood, the doctor asked, "What do you see in there?" "The same thing you see when you look in my throat, Doc." My son replied, $signs.